equal effort on the flying and the training side. And the other two aircraft really fill in. The problem is with just running a 4 around is that it's too far away from the audience at any one time, and only when it passes in front it's all right, and then it goes away for a while because of the large turning radius of these aircraft at the speeds that they're doing.
How do you go about selecting pilots for a specialised operation like this?
Well, initially everybody, of course, in the squadron volunteered for the job, but because of the short work-up time and we only had 2 weeks to work this particular routine out in practice, we had to select 3 experienced pilots, in fact the 3 most experienced pilots for the difficult parts, and then the formation team members didn't really matter, the experience didn't matter. We in fact picked one of those members our most junior pilot on the squadron.
How much of the display flying is worked out on the ground before the pilots ever get in the air?
There was, I'd say, about 2 weeks of planning before we even started flying. As soon as we started flying, and then we realised that our theory didn't quite work, and we had to modify it, and we modified it right through the 2 weeks until we came up to the final program. So I'd say about a month total, and of that there was a good month on the ground work, 2 weeks of flying before we worked the team up to its present state.
How important are the briefing sessions that pilots have to undergo before they get airborne?
Well, they're paramount. You haven't got time to write down things and look inside the cockpit when you're in a job like this. So everything must be cast on your memory before you go. You must know exactly what the other people are doing, when they're doing it, and in what sequence they're doing it. And that's why the briefings are so important, because that must be engraved in your mind before you close the canopy.
The points that I'll cover generally before I run through the specific side of the mass brief. From this morning's episode there was a few mistakes, some of them on my part. Leader's plane. I'll emphasise, keep up on the leader's plane. If 2 or 3 lowers themselves, gets too low, the other man match it. Don't leave one up in the correct position, the other man too low. From our roll, we'll run into our sequence, and our sequence...
The briefing is conducted by Squadron Leader Gent, who is the leader of the 4 aircraft. He conducts the briefing because his timing is paramount, and he sets the timing for the whole show.
And once we exit the crowd in this manner, coming round for this position, they'll be rolling through for a garbage roll. Low level, 200 feet. They've got the low altitude. We'll be maintaining our exercise at 400 feet to 500 feet.
The briefing must cover every particular phase in the right sequence, with the right calls, the right speeds, the right angle of bank. In fact, every particular thing that's done in that aircraft in the time during the display must be fully understood and learnt by the pilots before they get airborne together.
On taxiing out, we parked in the lines in this fashion, 1, 2, 3 through to 6. We're moving forward and taxiing down this taxiway and aiming to taxi 3 pairs 100 yards in trail. Each pair nose-tail separation and number 1 on the downwind side.
Miracle's running up.
I break off and go to the opposite direction of the airfield. The 4 continue, or the 5 continue, down to one end of the airfield where the 4 line up in what's called a finger 4 formation, and they take off in that formation.
There's that Miracle's rolling now. Right. Undercarriage. Go.
Both single aircraft line up opposing each other. The aircraft following the four then releases his brake before the last aircraft releases his brakes.
Turning left.
The distance between the aircraft in the formation was as little as half a wingspan between aircraft. The four fly around in various formations. Now, in between the turns of the formation, the singles aim to come past and carry out a few aerobatic manoeuvres. The first one is what's called a garbage roll. The garbage roll is performed at 240 knots with the undercarriage down, a drop of afterburner because the aircraft are pretty heavy straight after takeoff.
Roll out on top. We're rolling over now.
The manoeuvre following the garbage roll is just a simple inverted flight path. It's restricted to about 6 to 8 seconds.
Rolling now. Straightening. Ready to twinkle. Twinkle. Go.
The twinkle roll simply illustrates the manoeuvrability of the aircraft at speed. A rate of roll is possible of 450 degrees per second. That's slightly too fast to do in displays and so close to the ground because the pilot is easily disorientated at those rates.
Rod. We're finished.